Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays. This episode, I'm going to show you some movies that are based on Hollywood. These are movies going back to the 20s, the 30s, and kind of recreating old Hollywood. And these are some movies from the 70s and the 60s. Let me start off with the first one. This is available from Paramount and Olive Films. This is called Harlow, and it stars Carol Baker, Martin Balsam, Red Buttons, Peter Lawford, and a cast of others. It kind of takes place in 1928 when Jean Harlow, who it's based on, starts becoming the big actress known as the Bombshell, the Golden Goddess back then. She started in some Laurel and Hardy shorts, just doing some brief little walk-ons and maybe a little pie in her face or dress gets ripped off or something. Just little bits and stuff in comedy films. But this movie basically covers her life. This is, I think it was made in 1965. She does a pretty decent role as Jean Harlow. Usually biopics aren't exactly that great. I mean, there's been some really good ones. You know, they might be really good, but they're not accurate all the time. Like the Queen documentary was really good, but it just wasn't very accurate. They had their facts all mixed up. You know, Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr. from 1992, good documentary. They tried to recreate everything they could. You know, he did a stupendous job as Chaplin. So this was, you know, from 1965. It's directed by Gordon Douglas. She does a pretty good job. I mean, you know, being limited in the 1960s of showing details, gritty little stuff. So, you know, it was limited, not showing all that stuff. But, you know, she tragically died in 1937, I want to say. So she had a, you know, short career, but she's legendary. Jean Harlow. Interesting documentary. Not full of facts, but a lot of fun. Next up is a highly recommended movie directed by John Schlesinger, The Day of the Locust. Now this is a DVD copy that I've had for a very long time. This is a movie that came out in 1975, and this is just awesome. They do a great job of recreating early 30s Hollywood. The backstage sets, the back lots, the cars, the scenery. It's got some great cinematography in here. Like I said, John Schlesinger directed it, who had, you know, directed Midnight Cowboy, amongst others. And it's got a really good full cast of characters. Great performance by Karen Black. It's got Donald Sutherland. A really good underrated performance by William Atherton as he's, you know, has a thing for her. Burgess Meredith has a really funny role. And I mean, it's also very sad in a way, you know. But yeah, it's great. It just really captures the atmosphere, and you really get a sense that you're in Hollywood. You know, the sunlight, you can almost feel it. It's a very warm feeling movie. But I highly recommend this. Hopefully one day this will come out on maybe a Criterion collection or a different version on Blu-ray with some extras, because I really love this movie. It's really great. I mean, Conrad Hall's cinematography is phenomenal, and really highly recommend this. The Day of the Locust. Next up, we have a movie by Ken Russell. It's called Valentino, and it's about the life of Rudolph Valentino. He takes a lot of liberties with him, but I think he does a pretty good job. It's a great movie. It kind of tells the story of you know, after he dies, and some of his friends and lovers and whatnot were telling kind of the story of how they knew him and everything. Of course, Ken Russell has the flair that Ken Russell has as a director. Came out in 1977, and the man who plays Valentino is Rudolph Nureyev, the famous dancer, Russian dancer. And I think he pulls it off. He does a really good job. I mean, you know, it's got a lot of atmosphere again, a lot of detail put into making 1920s Hollywood. So I highly recommend it. This is a Blu-ray from Kino that came out not very long ago, but it looks great. It's got a lot of extras on here, a lot of actual Rudolph Valentino stuff, some trailers from his movies, and it's got an audio commentary from film historian Tim Lucas. So I recommend that, Valentino. And finally, guys, we got a movie from, it's called The Wild Party, and it's from 1975. And this is made by James Ivory of the Merchant and Ivory movie team that would make a lot of English sitting room type dramas in the 80s and 90s. Most notably, The Remains of the Day and stuff like that. But this is a very interesting role, or movie. I'm sorry. James Ivory kind of disowned it at times. He didn't really like it, but it's really not bad. It's kind of showing the kind of roughly based on the Fatty Arbuckle scandal. So it's kind of taking place in the 20s and kind of showing the wildlife of Hollywood and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Variety magazine called it extremely erotic at the time. So there you go. And it stars Perry King, Royal Dano, and Raquel Welch plays Queenie. James Coco has a rare starring role as the guy in there. So, but I mean, it got some good reviews back then and stuff. And it's not bad. It's a great little movie. It's got the flavor again. So there you go, guys. Here's some movies about early Hollywood. Some biopics and some other stuff. So I highly recommend those movies. Check them out, find them. They're all available. They're all still in print. And until next time, guys, just go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments on these. Like I said, I highly recommend The Day of the Locust. If you get a chance, check this out. It pretty much blow your mind. If you like Midnight Cowboy, John Schlesinger has made some really interesting movies over the years. Go, check this out if you haven't seen it already. So until next time, guys, watch good movies, have fun, be cool to each other, and I'll see you later.